right, so those of you who are in Tennessee, guess what? House Bill 2689 is getting ready to pass. That is requiring paternity tests before you sign the birth certificate. Because, when people do paternity tests, 1/3 of the time, they end up not being the father, and if they start testing everybody, that number can only go up, not down. It's going to be dramatic, and right now they're starting to also add in things like, maternity fraud is a crime, a punishable crime. So, guys used to go to jail for not paying child support on a child that wasn't theirs because the state wants to get their money. Because if there is no father to pay for the child support, somebody has to pay for it. So they push it onto the nearest person that can be a father figure. And they're actually starting to jail time the ladies for maternity fraud because it is such a rampant crime. And yes, it's a crime. Alright, so those of you who are in Tennessee, guess what? House Bill 2689 is getting ready to pass. That is requiring paternity tests before you sign the birth certificate. Because, when people do paternity tests, 1/3 of the time, they end up not being the father, and if they start testing everybody, that number can only go up, not down. It's going to be dramatic, and right now they're starting to also add in things like, maternity fraud is a crime, a punishable crime. So, guys used to go to jail for not paying child support on a child that wasn't theirs because the state wants to get their money. Because if there is no father to pay for the child support, somebody has to pay for it. So they push it onto the nearest person that can be a father figure. And they're actually starting to jail time the ladies for maternity fraud because it is such a rampant crime. And yes, it's a crime.
Hey, Shalom. Giving all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to you, hopefully elect. Alright. And just through the Spirit, through the Spirit, again. I saw a series of these videos. And like I said, it's all through the Spirit again, because I see certain brothers, some brothers, man, going into doing some videos, in reference to basically how, because the one thing about Yahweh Shema Shai, as these fake and phony Christians always like to plagiarize the scriptures, because they always like to quote how the Lord is not a respecter of persons, which is true. All right. And like I was saying, the one thing about Yahweh Shema Shai, man, unlike what the society has taught, where this society has taught us to have a bias towards women and children. And as I always say, Yahweh Shema Shai, he doesn't give a damn about none of that. All right. Because in the times to come, we're going to see horrific judgments on men, women, and children. All right, from the oldest to the youngest. And you see, for a long time, these women have been held unaccountable for their actions. All right, for their deeds, their wicked deeds at that. And we're coming into a time where, these women, they're being forced to be held accountable, and they don't like it. It's uncomfortable. You see, but one way or the other, message to to your women, whether you receive it or not, whether you like it or not, like I said, the Lord is you are going to be held accountable for your actions. All right, just like the men of the Lord, just the men in general. All right, because there has been an attack, more specifically on the Israelite man, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Indian man, for the longest. All right, for 3, 4, 5 decades. You see, and like I said, now we're coming into a time where, women, you women are starting to be held accountable. You see, and of course, they don't feel good. Like I said, the men have been held to a certain standard, a high-ass standard at that, and these women, they've just been given all these privileges and liberties to just do whatever they want, and like I said, not be held accountable. Well, hey, a lot of that's starting to catch up to these women and bite them in the ass and whatnot. All right, and one way or the other, these women, man, or you women are about to be humbled greatly, just like how the Lord dealt with His men, and more specifically, because a lot of these, and this is not to justify, these wicked 2/3. All right, the wicked 2/3 men. All right, niggas. All right, it's not to justify them, because like I said, they're wicked. All right. But like I said, nevertheless, over the past 3, 4, 5 decades, the attention has been on the men and what men need to do. All right, men need to step up. Men this, men that. All the blame has been on the men. And these women, they just been able to just, be wanton and undisciplined and just get away scot-free, not being held to any type of standard and to hold no type of accountability. Well, that's changing. All right. And like I said, over the past few years, like I said, the shift has been towards these women and how they need to be held accountable for their actions, and they don't like it. Well, hey, I'm just speaking from experience, and I'm, speaking for other men, other brothers. Hey, like I said, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good because it forces you to acknowledge that you were the one that's wrong. All right, it forces you to look yourself in the mirror, all right, that individual that you see in the mirror, and say, I was wrong. All right, and that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, and especially when it comes to women. It's uncomfortable, and of course, the nature of a woman, she likes to be comfortable. And like I said, this thing is very uncomfortable. You see, it's very uncomfortable. But nevertheless, whether you like it or not, however you feel, the Lord is going to hold everyone accountable for their actions. All right. And like I said, over the past few years, the shift has been towards these women and how they need to be held accountable. You see, because the tides are turning, and you women aren't getting away scot-free. All right. So with that being said, like I said, I was watching a series of videos, and many in particular, I was watching because I just saw it a couple of days ago or so, less than a week ago. It had to be a few days ago, less than a week ago, man. Going into this anniversary of the Taliban takeover, and this is something that I've reported on, here and there. All right, because I've always used the reference of what's going on out there in Taliban or Afghanistan ever since America pulled out, and the Taliban took over, all right, and how they reestablished order. All right, reestablished order. I'll say that again. You see, because again, despite how people feel, how despite how you may look at the situation, like I said again for the third time, it's been nothing but a reestablishing of order. All right, because I'm gonna get this real quick. You see, a lot of these nations, these countries, man, they have drunken the wine for fornication, right? They took on these philosophies, and they've been drunken with these philosophies, and this is why a lot of these countries, a lot of these nations are in shambles, all right? And there's a lot of disorder, all right? And that's one of the many things going back to Afghanistan. When the Taliban, they took over, like I said, just a few days ago, they just had the anniversary of the Taliban taking back over. All right, they just had their 2-year anniversary, I think it was. And of course, because once you get a little piece of that so-called American dream, or a little piece of that so-called American pie, or whatever the case may be, whatever it's being called nowadays, it feels good. It feels good to the flesh. It's appeasing to the flesh, you see. Because prior to that, in a lot of those Middle Eastern countries, all right, which adapt biblical cultures, our cultures, You know, and you wonder why a lot of those marriages and just things in general over there in those Middle Eastern countries, you know, they're for the most part more successful. Like I said, marriage for an example, a lot of marriages over there are a lot more successful than over here in the West. Why? Because they took on a lot of our cultures. You know, they've taken on a lot of our cultures. All right, you see, man. But like I said, once you get a little piece of this so-called American pie, you get a little taste of this Babylon wine. All right, it makes you go crazy. You know, and henceforth, like I said, that's why you see a lot of disorder, chaos. Countries, man, they've had enough. All right, because they've seen what this democracy, diplomacy, they seen what it leads to. You know, and a lot of these countries, man, they no more want any part of this garbage, man, because that's what it is. It's straight up garbage. You know, because like I was saying, um, there's, of course, like I said, a lot of the women over there in Afghanistan, they're complaining, right? you know, they're all butt hurt because, like I said, the reestablishing of order, right? Ever since the Taliban took over, America pulled out. Taliban, they took over. It's been reestablishing of order, and like I said, a lot of those women, man, they like I said, man, they had a little piece of that pie, right? And like I said, it feels good. It's appeasing to the flesh. When now that them Taliban took back over, and this is something that I've said time in and time out, because what we see going on over there is coming here real soon. All right, it's coming here real soon, and it's going to be much more graphic. It's going to be much more cruel and harsh. You know, because we see the spirit that's in the atmosphere right now, man. Hey, a lot of guys are tired. Hell, you even got in the scriptures say that call to the morning for the cunning women, because you see a lot of women, or I'll say a handful of women that are in somewhat their right mind, and they can see, they can see, because as long as the Israelite man is down, man, hey, there's just no good thing that comes from this culture, this destructive lifestyle. As long as the Israelite man is down, and some certain women, they can see that. So that's why you have certain women out there, that they're like, hey, and and hell, you even have it to where certain 2/3 women, certain of the women that aren't going to make it, they're like crying out like, man, you shameless dogs, man, you need to step up, man. Y'all got to stop playing games. And you got certain, like I said, 2/3 women that are crying out, man. Because like I said, this whole westernized way of doing things, this is not it. This ain't it. So in Jeremiah 51, in verse 7, it says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So you see, these nations, man, they're pissed off. Because like I said, a part of the democracy, diplomacy, or a part of the wine in these different philosophies is giving women so-called rights, or slaka, giving women rights, liberties. And the scriptures say that not to give a woman a liberty to get abroad, man. Because that's one thing that's going on out there in Afghanistan. All right, because like I said, when America was over there spilling their getting everyone drunk with the wine. Before that, hey, women weren't somewhat in order. They were covered up. They weren't twerking. Um, and just certain things, like I said, certain privileges. But because the Taliban has taken back over, man, those privileges, those liberties have been taken away. Now women, they have to, basically play the role. They have to play their duties, man. Perform their duties as women. as servants to the men. And a lot of those women, they don't like it. They're complaining. You know, a lot of women have been forced out of work, forced out of school. You know, can't go to school, right? You know, they have it to where women can't drive anymore. You know, women aren't driving anymore because, you know, when you go out, when you look into what's going on out there, hey, women, if they go out to parks, wherever, man, they have to have some type of escort. You know, and it's just like certain things. That's how it's supposed to be. Like I said, and this is why Apostle Tahar said it a long time ago. Man, you can't read the Bible with a Western mindset. You know, because when you see what's going on out there, all right, like I said, women they have to have some type of escort wherever they go because these women are undisciplined. They're wonton, man. They need some type of escort. All right, you know, chaperone, whatever you want to call it, however cool it sounds, whatever. All right, you know, but and this all this lines up in the scriptures. It goes back to our law. You know, it all goes back to the law. This is how you prevent adultery and, you know, women getting raped and so on and so forth. You see, but now, you know, being in this destructive lifestyle that we're living, right? It's why, like I said, man, we just see everything that we see going on today, man. It's just it's total chaos. And as I've said before, I'm gonna say it again, because what we see going on out there in Afghanistan and many other places, it's a small inkling of what we're gonna start seeing here. Because hey, these women, man, they're gonna be forced to get their ass in order, man. Because I even did a video on this some months ago, and this is something I meditate on from time to time. Like, man, what is the Lord gonna do? What is the Lord is gonna bring some serious? He's gonna bring something serious to where, because things happen every day, you know, and with the judgments that go out every day, these women, these, you know, people in general, but especially these women, they get more and more proud. Where something's going to happen, the Lord's going to have something so horrendous take place where these women, they're actually going to shut the hell up and get an order. You know, they're going to revert back to their natural state in being a possession to a man. And like I said, this is what pretty much inspired me to do this video, because watching a series of videos like out here in Florida, you know, this guy DeSantis, he's talking about doing away with the alimony, right? And you have a lot of women complaining, crying out, you know, the child support, you see. And it's a spirit, because I'm gonna get this real quick. Now, ultimately, you know, this is because this can be twofold, all right. And this is mainly going into Jake with the nations, all right. But you can apply this to women, all right. Just real quick in Jeremiah 4:30, it says, "And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do?" Because listen, in that day, don't come run to a man of the Lord. And I'm talking about 2/3 women, because like I said, the Lord does have a select few of women that are actually, you know, they're gonna come around, you know. But as far as, you know, 2/3 women, the women that ain't gonna make it, man, you know, don't come running up to a man of the Lord expecting anything from a man of the Lord. Because hey, listen, a lot of brothers are already to a point where a lot of us are cold-hearted, man. You know, you know, a lot of us are stone cold, man. And in that day, the Lord is going to have a spirit of discernment on his men to be able to, nah, man, you know, kick rocks, go up the street, you know. And so it says, "Though thou closest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting in vain." And you see all that makeup and all that bullshit, man, you know, which that doesn't attract a man of the Lord anyways, a real man at that, you know, that none of that attracts a real man, period. All that, you know, face garbage, which you're, because that's when you go into that word, it said, though thou rentest thy face with painting, all right. When you go into that word rentest, man, you're destroying your face, you're destroying yourself, you're destroying your foundation. You know, that's why a part of why a lot of women, man, they might be young women, but you know, all that makeup and shit, you know, looking like, you know, like the Joker and shit, man. You know, a lot of women, even though they're young in age, but they look a lot older than what they really are, because a part of that has to do with outside of the diet and all the damn medications that they're taking, and all the men that they're sleeping with, you know, you know, aside of all that, man, the damn makeup shit, man, you're destroying yourself. You're destroying your face. You're destroying your foundation, man. You see? And even with all that being said, like it says, reading on, it says, though thou rinsest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lovers will despise thee. They shall seek thy life. Now, like I said, ultimately, you know, this is talking about Jake, because Jake has a very bad habit of, instead of just putting their trust in Yahweh Shema Shai, they want to put their trust in the other nations. Esau, Edom, and more specifically. All right, but you can apply this to the actual women as well. You know, which, hey, you know, it's spiritual because, hey, the main, you know, lovers or defenders that the Israelite woman is, you know, looking to come to her defense is this so-called white man. You see, and like I said, with everything that's going on right now, more and more these benefits, welfares, and you know all these other things, the EBT, the SNAP, food stamps, and all that stuff, more and more is being stripped away. You see, and like I said, because now it's getting to a point where a lot of women are starting to wake up, and it's just like, damn, feminism has failed us, man. Being that whole, I can do bad by myself, all that nonsense, man, which ties back into the wine, the philosophies, that shit's starting to fail. Well, it's been failing, but now these women are starting to realize it. It's because it's been failing, all right? But now these women are starting to come to their understanding, or come to their senses, and for the most part, for the mass majority, it's too late, all right? It's too late. A lot of you women are too far gone, and you quite frankly, you just have to be destroyed. And hey, we'll see you on the other side. It's just point blank period. We'll see you on the other side, man. So all this trust, the faithfulness, and you see all that. With all that being said, if you put that towards your actual husband, and it's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of brothers because, hey, even if you got a woman, for brothers that have women, hey, at the end of the day, she can, and like I said, it's a hard pill for a lot of brothers to swallow because at any moment she can flip on you, man. She can flip on you, man. She can flip the switch at any moment. So, I mean, you might think that you have and this is something a long time ago I heard the Apostle Tahar say this, like, hey, for brothers that think they have a faithful woman, oh, not my girl, yeah, okay, the Apostle Tahar, he said it just like that, like, you like, okay, yeah, because, like I said, man, especially when it comes to these Babylonian women, man, it's just like, man, it's so, as much as you want to love your woman, as much as you want to love these women, because contrary to popular belief, brothers at Great Millstone, we do actually, we love women, but we just hate the mindset that they're in right now, because again, quite frankly, and it's a hard pill to swallow, our women, they are not our women, all right? They're not our women right now. It's just our turn, because like I said, at any moment, these women, they can flip. Your wife, she can flip. She can flip the script, man. And it hurts, but hey, it sucks, but hey, it is what it is. Now, for brothers that deal with women or have a wife or wives, listen, hey, you take care of your responsibility, until the Lord removes you from that situation. All right, but until then, hey, if it pleases her to dwell with thee, then hey, you take care, handle your business, but just know, all right. And that's why I say it's a hard pill to swallow because, hey, you want to love your woman and your children at that, but you just at the same time you got to keep that sort of distant. You got to keep that distance. You just got to keep that distance. Because like I said, at any moment, hey, they can flip on you, man. They can, whatever the case may be. So you can't be caught up into the things that is pertaining to this life. Like the scriptures, Apostle Paul said, hey, even if for brothers that have wives, be as though that you don't have one, that you don't have none. All right? Because first and foremost, Sophia. All right? There's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. This should be our first love. This should be the only woman that we're chasing. All right? Wholeheartedly after, man. Going all out for, man. Because, hey, in due time, and this is something that I've said time in and time out, hey, listen. As I've said before, because Brothers, for the most part, don't really get attention. All right, you know, these women, they look at us and whatever the case may be, man. They might look down upon us, whatever. Enjoy this peace and quiet that you get now. I always say, enjoy it now, because the time's gonna come where it's gonna be like, man, god damn, when we're gonna be running up to your doorstep, you know, is your our faces are gonna start more and more getting familiar. All right, like, hey, you one of those men, basically, because the women, they're gonna be begging a man of the Lord to take them on. They're gonna be begging, because that's how bad it's gonna get. Like I said, something's gonna happen, and it's really gonna humble these women once and for all. It's gonna shut these women up once and for all. You know, I tell my demon all the time, like, because when it comes to this topic of Isaiah 4:1 and multiple wives, man, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm sure I speak for many brothers. Hey, that demon comes out. The demon comes out. And I tell all the time, like, man, you tripping, but listen, in that time to come, hell, even now, I don't have time to be showing the women the ropes. The women that are going to be coming up, I don't have time to be explaining to them what I like, what I don't like. And that's your job. I tell my demon that all the time. Like, that's your job. As much as you want to get in your feelings, and as much as you want to trip, man, listen, I need you to be the head wife. I need you, you the head wife. Like, I need you to, that's your responsibility, And like I said, that demon comes up, but at the same time, I can see in her spirit, like, I know, I don't like what this nigga's saying, but at the same time, I could just tell in her spirit, like, she knows, like, like he's right, he's right. Like, she could see the truth, in the midst of all that anger and whatever she's feeling. I could tell in her spirit, like, yeah, as much as I don't like what this nigga's saying, yeah, he's I could, he's telling the truth, So, hey, the time's gonna come, like I said, hey, enjoy this peace and quiet now, because the time's gonna come when it's just like, man, god damn, you know, all these women, they're gonna be coming in. Are you one of those men? I saw you downtown. I used to see you downtown, and and like I said, that's why I said the spirit is going to be on brothers to be able to discern, all right, the real from the fake, But hey, nevertheless, going back to the point, like, hey, more and more, like I just read here in Jeremiah 4, man, hey, because quite frankly, these women, they've replaced the Israelite man with Esau, Edom, and this goes back to the garden, all right, the serpent and Eve, all right. But now that Eve is turned Slakia, now that Esau is turning his back on Eve, now they're gonna try, come back and play the pity party, and like I said, for the most part, you are gonna have a handful of women that the Lord is gonna have mercy on, but the rest, man, the hell with them, the hell with these women, the hell with these women, a lot of them are gonna come back playing the part, but they're gonna be weeded out, man, But nevertheless, hey, these comforts are being stripped. They're being taken away, and they don't like it, because they're being forced to be held accountable for their actions. You see? So I'm gonna just get this in Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. And like I said, women that like to be at ease, that like to be comfortable. All right. So to you women that are in a state of being comfortable, and like I said, more and more over the years, we've been seeing these, little by little, these comforts being stripped. These comforts have been taken away. A lot of these women that are, making all this money for OnlyFans and these stupid TikTok videos, and all that's going to be taken away more and more. And these women, you women, are going to be stripped bare. You're going to be shown for who you really are. Because once the weave is taken away, all the makeup and all that garbage is taken away, all right, you're going to be seen for who you really are, man. What do you think is going to happen in a society when the society takes place? All right, and you're not going to be able to afford to, because women, they have their monthly cycles. All right, but when the society collapses and you can't afford to, those essentials, what do you think is gonna what do you think is gonna leave you, man? That's gonna attract all type of animals. All right, You know, from, when women that are dealing with their menstrual cycles. All right, that's going to attract all type of animals, diseases. Where do you think that's going to? Where do you think that you women are going to? Man, you women are going to be in a horrible case. All right, you're going to be in a horrible case, and I'm talking about the woman that's going to be outside of the protection of a man in the Lord. All right, because hey, brothers, for the men in the Lord, and for women that come up under them, that vibration, and the children, they're going to be taken care of. They're going to be taken care of, no problem, not an issue whatsoever. You see. But again, it says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech." All right, because again, these women, they're careless. They're careless. Like I said, they're undisciplined, wanton. All right, they're just not held to any type of accountability. No type of standard, no type of repercussions. But now all this is starting to catch up to them, and they don't like it. Well, deal with it. Just like the men of the Lord, or just men in general, had to be held accountable. All these decades, right? And now the shift is being turned on these women, and you don't like it. Well, hey, deal with it. It says, "Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman, for the venture shall fail, the gathering shall not come." And like I said, on the OnlyFans, right? The revenue that a lot of these chicks get from TikTok, stupid TikTok videos, and just these simps supporting the lifestyles of these women and whatnot, man. All that's going to be done away with. All right, the comforts, more and more, they're going to be taken. They're going to be stripped. You see, and like I said, we've seen this over the years, and it came out some years ago, about how, hey, I think it's out there in shit, man. What is that? Venezuela, I think it was, or one of those South American countries. All right, Northern Kingdom. You had women that they were pretty much successful. Doctors and whatnot. But hey, it was so bad out there that hey, they had to revert to selling their bodies, man. They had to revert to selling themselves just to make ends meet, to barely make ends meet. You see, it says, "Trouble ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, you careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins." And like I said, you women are going to be made bare. All that weave, those fake ass eyelashes, all that stupid makeup, all that shit's going to be done away with. And then you're going to be shown stripped bare, and you're going to be shown for who you really are. All right, all those nails, all that's going to be done away with. A lot of you women are about to be in a real bad place, man. And again, don't expect no sympathy from a man in the Lord, unless you're one of the elect ladies, unless you're one of the elect sisters, man. Don't expect brothers to feel any type of way, because a lot of you are going to get turned away. You see, it says, "They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine." And the teats, or basically like the breast, the tit. That's a place of comfort. That's like a place of nourishment. Well, like I said, when all that is taken away, a lot of you women are going to be in. I touched on this some days ago about how, hey, prepare lamentation, especially for the women. All right, prepare lamentation, because pretty soon all that's going to be stripped, man. All that's going to be taken away, and it's going to be bad for a lot of you women. It's going to be bad, man. It's going to be bad. Just like how the Lord did us, turning our women against us, man. Because how we did the Lord way. You women, hey, you got to pay too. And that's the cool thing about the Lord. Yeah, the Lord, he, gave us a little taste of our own medicine. Wait, you women, you have to, again, you're not exempt from judgment. That's the thing. Women are not exempt from judgment. You have to, reap the benefits of what you sowed as well. You have to reap that, man. You see? So, like I said, man, with that being said, order is about to be reestablished. All right. Get this real quick in Ecclesiasticus. Because you women are going to be, because, you have these conversations with certain women, man. And, and this is why me personally, I'm not one to, I don't even when it comes to my demon, I might tell her a thing or here or there, but it's very, very, very rare, extremely rare if I, actually go over. And I'm not even talking about, like deep breakdowns. Like, I'm not going to go over Daniel 11, all right, Revelation 13. I'm not going to go over these deep breakdowns with a woman, all right, because that's is to me there's no sense in that. But every now and then I will actually go over a few precepts, a few things, you know, uh, you know, because speaking of my demon, like I said, I'm not, I'm not gonna sit down with her and go over precepts. I might show her, just tell her things here and there. But, my mother-in-law, whom I love dearly, all right, she's one of the very few, very, very, very few that I will actually go over a few things here and there. And then, like I said, that's not even going over deep breakdowns. Just I'll actually sit down, you know, with her and go over, just certain things, certain subjects and whatnot. Anything else? Listen, I tell women, listen, if you want to learn, just watch the videos, man. Just watch the videos. If it's for you, then cool. If it's not, then it's not. But for the most part, I don't teach women, man. It's no sense in that. Just submit yourself to a man in the Lord at the end of the day, and just submit. Just submit yourself to a man in the Lord. All right, just like we submit ourselves to our husband. Hey, you woman, you submit yourself to a man, and that's all there is to it. Because a lot of women are about to find out the hard way. They're going to be forced to take knowledge and to take accountability, right? Because like I said, you try to have certain conversations with the women, and they're as far as their role and what they're supposed to do, and they not me. Well, that's cool. Like brothers, like a lot of us say all the time, keep that same energy, keep the same attitude, because you're gonna find out. That's why I'm gonna read this in Ecclesiasticus 36 and starting at verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. And you see that right there. That's enough right there to just, turn a woman off. She'll get disenchanted and well, okay, keep the same attitude. It says a help like unto himself and a pillar of rest. You see, because there's no such thing as 50-50. There's no such thing as equal rights. All right. And I say it like this, man, if I want someone that's going to be my equal, I might as well just be a sodomite. I might as well just get with another man. If I want someone that's going to match my strength, match my energy, just someone that's going to be equal with me, I might as well just get with another man. Just be a homo, be a transformer or something. I don't want an equal. Now there is a balance to everything, but but as far as having a equal and 50, man, the hell with all that, man. I might as well just do it myself. And that's the case for that's the case for a lot of brothers. Listen, it's just to a point. Like me personally, I know how to cook. I know how to clean, wash clothes. I know how to do all these things, man. So it's just like, man, at this point, it's like, what do I need you for? What can you do for me that I can't do for myself, or that another woman that's willing to do? You see, because the sex, the body, oh, that shit's played out. All right. I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. All right, that shit don't mean nothing to me, man. And quite frankly, you can get boxed anywhere. And it's just like, man, you might as well just pay for it. If a broad is gonna put you through so much hell and trouble to get the box, man, you might as well just pay for it, man, and just deal with a prostitute, which that's a hard pill for a lot of Jake to swallow. All right, but yes, a lot of our forefathers, they dealt with harlots and prostitutes, right? And push come to shove, man, hey, you gotta be bending your, going all out of your wits for these women, man. You just pay for some box and keep it pushing, man. Because either way, one way or the other, if you think about it, you're paying for it anyways. You gotta take these women out on dates and, do all this extra shit, man. You might as well just pay for your prostitute or whatever, man, and keep it pushing. If it's like that, if it's gonna be like that. All right. So that's why in Isaiah 4:1, hey, listen, we know the scriptures. We don't have to get it. That's why a woman, in that day, it's going to be about what can she provide for you? What can she do for me? Because like I said, I can cook, I can clean, box, I can get that anywhere. If I'm that desperate and if I wanted that bad, I can get box anywhere. What can you do for me? A lot of these women, they come with extra baggage. All right. All the spirits that's, within her. Right. fighting, and you wonder why, these women, they can't pair bond with a man. All these spirits fighting within her, all these different energies, because, men are conquerors by nature, man. So, all these different, spirits in her conquering her, and, wonder why she's all bugged out. It's like, what can you do for me? These women, they come with multiple children by different men. It's like, what can you do for me? Because that's another thing, man. You women, you don't understand that you're a liability. All right. And you're especially going to be even more a liability in that day to come when all hell's broke loose. For you women that think you're the prize, and especially if you have multiple children by other men, you're an extra liability. You're extra baggage. So you're going to really have to come with your A game in that day and prove yourself. So that's why, again, pursuing the Isaiah 4:1, hey, what can you do for me? All right. Because like I said, a lot of us, I know me personally, I can cook, I can clean, I can do all this stuff by myself. I don't, a lot of brothers don't need women, man. Like I said, granted, we're all in the flesh and we get those urges sometimes. But like I said, if push come to shove, man, just pay for some boxing and keep it pushing, But verse 28, verse 25, it says, where no hedges, there the possession is spoiled. And he that have no wife will wander up and down mourning. So you see, man, all right, because a lot of you women are about to become a spoil. All right, you're about to become a booty. All right, you're about to be left out there by yourself, no protection. And that's why, hey, you women better get your shit together, man, because when it all comes crashing down, all right, your only option, I'm not gonna say, I'll say your best bet is gonna be a man of the Lord. You better be listen, because like I said, man, you're gonna have to come with it, man. You're gonna have to come with your A game. You're gonna have to come with your A game, man. Because all that, like I said, the makeup and all that, man, that doesn't appease a real man. You might be to get by with a simp, but that's only going to last you for so long, because eventually, with a simp, all right, eventually, that shit's going to get played out. You're going to get bored. All right. And you're going to, eventually going to want a real man that's going to, and that's the thing, the hypocritical nature about a woman. They talk about how they want a man that's going to basically wrap himself around her finger and, bow down to her needs and all that, blah, blah, blah. But they get that and come to find out that's not what they really want. Women, they like to be controlled. They like to be told what to do. They like to be a man that's able to take control, take charge, and, be a man. That's what they really want. Despite what they say they want, what they really want is different. And hey, again, because quite frankly, that's why a woman, she needs to be led. All right. She needs to be led because quite frankly, she doesn't know what she wants. That's why, again, going back to the law. All right. Because the scriptures say that a woman, she's deprived of wisdom. All right. She don't know what the hell she wants. So that's why, hey, when you're reading our law, man, hey, for an Israelite man, if she had a daughter, he would be the one to marry her off. All right, because again, a woman, she doesn't know what she wants. She's deprived of wisdom. All right, and just again, man, just quite frankly, because the man, all right, that lot was allotted to the man when it comes to moving, dealing wisely. All right, that lot was given to the man, to the men. So that's why a man would often give his daughter off. All right, if he sees a suitable man for his daughter, a young man for his daughter, whether she liked it or not, hey, eventually, because that's another thing, that lovey-dovey shit. Listen, business first. All right, all that lovey-dovey shit comes later. It comes later on. Business first, man. And eventually, hey, she would end up falling in love and all that nonsense. But nevertheless, man, hey, to you women, hey, you're not exempt from judgment, so prepare to be humbled. Prepare to be humble. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bashim Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully elect.